Oh, how do I do this? All right. It's streaming. I see it on my channel over here. But how do I see the comments coming up? Well, I guess I don't. Uh-oh. Docs. What the? That's not what I want. Let me see. Chat. Why is that over there? I don't know what I'm doing, people. Chat. There we go. Huh. That's weird. What's up, Bill? I have no idea what's going on. This is I don't know what you're seeing on. Can I play this? I want to see what you're seeing. How do I see what you're seeing? Do you see like YouTube chat twice on the thing? I'm trying to move it off here. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Oh, it's not focusing. Why is it not focusing? Get over there. What's up, John? I'm just goofing around right now. I'm in OBS trying to. I was recording a video, and now I can't get this stuff. Now that I've turned it on to live, it won't focus. There we go. Nothing is on. Okay, I don't know. How do I? It says I'm streaming, but yeah, I don't see anything. Can you see me on the screen? You can't see me on the screen. Okay, can you see me now? Why is it not working? Oh, there must be a delay. Okay, that works. I'm gonna have to figure in on the delay. Okay. I got it. All right, I'm just out in the shop chilling. I'm getting ready for tonight's live stream with Jim. We got a special guest coming up, and I'm just kind of hanging out doing stuff. Sup, Chuck? And I thought I would turn on again. I'm in OBS. I'm recording a video, and I thought, you know what? I'm looking at all these little options down here, and I'm like, let's start streaming. Oh my gosh, 15 minutes later, after clicking all the buttons, and now it's blurry again. I don't understand this camera. Yo. Okay. I'm going to have to put that cardboard blocker behind it so that it focuses on the front right here, but we'll see. All right, so what this block of squares that I'm doing now is this stop it. It's this there we go. Oh my gosh. I don't have a microphone control on this like I do on StreamYard. Sorry about that. So it's I took this go back to the laser. I took this on the first block over here, the bottom left, where it looks dark gray. And then if you come back here and you look at it, it looks like green. See that turned green and pink? Aqua blue and pink. All right. So I took those and I moved my settings around. And I moved my settings around to go off of that section, made it smaller, and did 2 passes instead of 1. So yeah, John, I know it doesn't show colors. But hold on, let me do this. Oh, okay, yeah, right here. So I tried to go off of this bottom one here. And then I changed it and I went to 2 passes on those. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move it over and I'm going to do 3 passes. I think. I think so. I think I'm going to do one more at 3 passes. So let me show you what I'm doing on that one. So basically, I'm just going to go into the material editing and I'm going to bump that up to 3. And you know what? Let's do an auto rotate of 45. I don't know what that's going to do. All right, let's do that. Why not? Okay. We're going to frame that. Let's go back over here. Jack, I am screwing around. I'm in OBS messing with trying to hook up to live stream. So I got all the camera clicky going. And my camera over here that you're looking at now keeps wanting to phase out as far as focus goes. The angle's not right for all that stuff. So I have no idea. All right. I gotta look at this again. Yeah, that's in. Okay. Let's go. This is gonna do 3 passes. This is gonna be boring, guys, but if you look at my stack of color samples I have on the floor down here, I probably have weeks of testing. I have no idea. I don't think that's a 4K camera. I've got this one. This is the E-Meet. I've got that one that's looking into my extra room. That's hanging into my mic boom. And then I got this one that's looking at my laser right now. And I don't know if that's a 4K camera or not. That's the Anchor. What the heck is that one? Yeah, that's the Anchor. I don't know what that is. Anyway, gonna blow my nose again. So I just thought that while I was out here dinking around doing this kind of stuff, I would just play with a few other things and just, sharpen my skills, try to see if I can get better at what I'm doing. And this is the only way I know how to do it. So I'm just doing it. If you guys want to hang out for a while, you can. I don't know how long I'm going to do this. I'm probably just going to leave this on while I'm goofing around in the shop today for a couple hours. I don't know. It's fun. I don't do this a lot, so you guys know that. I don't just sit here and screw around. So, well, I mean, not on camera. I sit here and screw around all day. Don't get me wrong. I don't know what that means, Jack. On one, I have a USB hub. With, is it hooked into this camera? No. Yeah. No. Okay. No. So this camera that you see here is hooked into a USB hub coming off the back of my laptop or back of my computer. The camera, the E-Meet in front of me, this one right here, is hooked into the front of my computer on a different hub or a different plug. I don't know if it's a hub. I don't know what it is. That camera is the same. It's hooked into, I don't know, somewhere on the computer. Um, and then I got two lasers hooked up to a hub that's running off a 30-foot cable that goes down through the floor, across my floor joist, up through the wall, over some stuff, and then pops out back here, and the hub is right behind me. And that's on a powered cable into a powered USB hub plugged in. So I'm trying to take everybody's advice on how to run stuff, and so far it's working. I just don't know if all my cameras are 4K. I know this E-Meet's a 4K. I don't think the Anchor is though. It might be. Hey, Tiger's Eye. Yeah, I've tried to get all of my USB hubs are powered. Oh, well, I don't know. I got 3 cameras hooked up to my computer and they all work, so I think I only have one 4K camera. Oh, also, no, the camera on the Lasermatic. The camera on the Lasermatic's hooked up. That works too. But I don't have it added in. Can I add it in? Add a scene. I'm going to try this live. If I drop you guys, I'm sorry. Uh-oh. Nope, I don't know. I'm going to delete that one. I don't know what's going on. Remove. Yes. Okay. I'll go back up into the chat. I do have chat sitting here. Uh-oh. No, where'd the chat go? I moved something. Oh no. Oh boy. Okay. Sup, Gene? I'm right. Well, until 3 seconds ago, I was doing fine. I went to do something with the chat and I moved it, and now. Okay. That's there. Let's do the chat. No. How do I get the chat back over here? Ah, come on. I don't know what happened, fellas. I lost my chat. Oh, there we go. I got it back on the side now. I can see it. Just char. What are you charring? This is the last set of this colors I'm going to do. I'll show you where I'm at as far as where my settings are. Right now, I'm at a frequency of 450. I'm at a Q pulse of 52. I got my power doesn't matter because I'm changing my power over in the other two settings, and my line interval doesn't matter. Basically, the only thing that matters right now on this screen is my speed, my frequency, and my Q pulse. So we hit the OK, and we go over here. This is where I set my power. So I'm doing from 20% to 35%, and my interval is from 0.002 to 0.005. That's why it's going so slow. Yeah, I did. It docked from, instead of being on the side where I can read it, to up above, and it made my screen that I'm watching all this unfold with you guys down to about 1.5 by 1.5 inches, and I couldn't figure out how to get my dock back over on the side, but I got it. I moved it. Can I move this into here? No. But no, you did it again. I see. I don't know. Every time I touch something, it screws up. Where? Why? Why? Nope. 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 I don't want you over there. I want you like this. Come on. Move your. Oh no! Why? Oh. This is probably why I've never done this before. I think I tried last year to do this and I couldn't figure it out. Okay. And now it's telling me I have to sign into chat with you guys in the chat, so I'm just talking. Oh, try and burn with the MOPA. Yeah, it depends on what you're trying to do with the MOPA. Stainless, cold rolled steel, brass, copper, aluminum cards, plastic. Oh, Jack, speaking of 3D printing, where is that? That's the fiber laser, and it don't look that good on camera, but there's the shades. The shades are decent. I have this. Let me see if I can change some. Can I drop the brightness down just a touch? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Anyways, that's on that's on Elegoo's PLA Pro, and it's not a iron surface, so you can still see the lines in it. But anyway. Tiger's Eye, that would be excellent because I'm pretty good using OBS just to record my videos. I don't really know if I want to use OBS for streaming anymore. But yeah, stuff like that, the locking the docks. Oh, absolutely. What printer are you using, Jack? Honestly, I lost one of my printers, so I'm down to 2 now. And I was literally gonna push the button on buying another printer to replace it. I was gonna get like the Cheaty 2, and I had the money, and all of a sudden 3 things in the house broke. I had to replace them. Some other stuff came up, and now I'm down to like 35 bucks. These last couple of months have been horrible for sales around here because of the wintertime. So as soon as spring hits, we're gonna get back into it. Oh, nice. Yeah, these flash forges I found out now are tattletales. They're gonna tell the governments that you're printing stuff that maybe or maybe not look like a firearm or something inappropriate. So I'm looking to get away from flash forged for that specific reason. I don't need nobody telling me what to do. You ain't gonna tell me nothing. Okay, that's why I'm not using YouTube for monetization right now. Because they got the heads up their own butts and they don't know what's going on, and I just wasn't dealing with it anymore, so I'm on Patreon now. Propsies. Okay, dude. These colors are looking pretty cool. But we're gonna drop down from like 52. I'm gonna figure out one of these settings here. I'm probably gonna set my max power to like 25, 20 or 25, somewhere in there, and then I'm probably gonna leave everything else alone, and then I'll run. Actually, I'll probably set this to 0.003, and then I'll probably run a frequency and a Q pulse spread next, just to see where we're gonna be. Actually, I might just like leave this alone I think I'm going to leave the frequency alone and run a Q pulse and a power. And then put this down to 0.003 or 0.004, somewhere in there. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure. I don't know yet. Let me see if I can see on my YouTube page if anybody's watching, because it wasn't working before. Oh, I only got one live. Hold on, let me. Ah, 10 viewers. Nice. There's 10 of you. There's 10 of you watching. I like that for just kind of popping up here and messing around. All right, I'm gonna mute my mic. I did find that. I knew it was there. I just had to remember where it was and how to do it. I'm gonna step outside a minute, and when I come back in, I gotta grab a couple pieces of cold rolled steel and get them prepped and ready to go. Because when we do a couple more of these tests on this stainless, I'm gonna start working on cold rolled steel. That way, you guys can, if you just want to use like saw blades or whatever to do this kind of stuff on. That was the very first thing I ever did to get colors going, was on a saw blade. And I cleaned it all off, got it prepped and everything. So, but I got a bunch of cold rolled steel. I'm going to mess with that when I get this done. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay. I got 4 pieces of steel. The last video that I did the other day for cutting that picture into 4 spots to make it like a group thing, I was thinking about doing a video on that and making one off these little pieces of steel that I have and hanging it behind me. My buddy in New York just texted me and he wants me to get. He's like sitting here playing Ghost Recon thinking about you. That's hilarious. I gotta text him back. That was where my YouTube video life started. It was him and I playing Wildlands and Ghost Recon, and then recording it through the PlayStation, and then editing it and making just the. I thought at the time they were cool videos, but they were so dumb. And honestly, there was more powerful editing tools in that than there is, well, easier to use to blend and add and do different things in there than there is in to be able to learn how to do it. It literally only took me 2 videos to learn everything that there was. And my videos were actually cut together and blended better than I can do on DaVinci right now, because it's just, there's so much stuff to learn. And I'm not the smartest tool in the shed. So you guys probably already know that. And I don't do Facebook and Twitch for lives. I don't know why. It just never, I never got into it. Okay. I like to keep things simple. I don't need to run all this complicated, 4 different platforms and all that kind of stuff. I know that's probably how you're supposed to grow your brand and your business and all that kind of stuff, but um yeah, I can't do it. It gives me a headache just thinking of how what I had to do to get this to work. I am a simple guy. Oh man, it looks like we got one more pass after this one, and I can show you that. I'm gonna put it up into this camera here in the front and see what it looks like. Oh my gosh, my sinuses are going crazy. Yeah, I know. We were talking about that. We were talking about that on the last live stream on just what you're used to using and what you get used to using and what somebody recommends to you, and it's free, so it's easy to download and start learning, especially when you don't have the cash flow to try to pay for some of that. Um, there's a guy. There's a guy on YouTube. Oh, it's done. There's a guy on YouTube that does some really really good tutorials for DaVinci, and he makes it really easy to follow along. It's just I'm all soaking wet. Went outside and I got eaves dripping on me. We got like 3 inches of snow this week. I mean, come on. Yeah, I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of 3. So we're not gonna do that. But stop it, Sparky. So there's the colors. The top little square right here is the 2. That one's the 3, and then this, where is it? I don't like the fact that you have to turn this to get that color right here, but that's when I was. That bottom square is where I was going off to get just to see where it was gonna go. So let's put this back over here. I'm gonna do a clean pass on this. Um, and I think this already had. Okay, so you can see on this other side. See that bright square right here? This piece. That's a clean pass. Down here, right here, that's what it is on this side here. So I'm going to do a clean pass underneath that other square. And we'll see if that changes the colors. I don't know what I'm going to do here. Let me see. Hey, Sparky, down here. Oh, let's go to... I'm going to save that test that I just did. So I can bring that back up and look at it again. Let me go here. All right, so we see the square. I don't know. Let me get my measuring stick. All right. All right. 80 by 90. That seems to be decent. right, so I got that. My material library, cuts and layers. We'll click on that one. Now I got a clean pass down here. Oh, looks like I got stainless colors down here in my. All right, I don't know, whatever. That's my 175 lens. Um, let's go up a little bit because it's a 220. Okay, let's frame that. All right, there we go. That's just gonna. I think that's gonna do a cross hat. Yeah, that's gonna do. Let me see. No, that's just gonna do one pass. I might do another one at a 90. John, I just got your message. You guys can see the chat. That's cool. I can't see nothing on my channel. It's a black screen on YouTube for me. So, oops, I need to do this. I need to go do a 0. Okay. Let's do another one. Oh wow, that looks like the old Pong game from the Commodore 64 or the VIC 20. Old VIC 20 with a 3-inch thick book. You had to sit there and program stuff in for 3 days straight to get a ball to bounce around the screen. That was horrible. Hey Tony. Like I said, I'm on OBS streaming to YouTube, and it took me like 10 or 15 minutes to figure out how to get it there. And I thought while I'm doing this, I might as well just stream it and talk to myself. Well, I'll talk to you guys. I was talking to myself already anyways. Might as well let you guys hear it. All right, cool. Now let's go back here. Let's get rid of that. And we're gonna go back to material test. Edit. Oh, that's fine. We already have that set. Actually, I want to up the power on that. There we go. Okay. We're gonna go. I think we're gonna drop this down to 750. We're gonna drop this to 400. And we're gonna put this to 0. Let's go 0.4. That's that happy medium between 3 and 5 that is in there. So we're gonna do a power. Do we want to do a power? Yeah, let's do a power and a Q pulse. So we're gonna do power here. I'm gonna do a 5x5. 8. I see. Oh my word! If I answer myself all the time, and I don't like my answers most of the time. So yeah. What's up, Dwayne? I didn't expect to be doing this today. I don't know. I just yeah. Yes, if you're by yourself, this might be the way I do my own personal live streams, but when you got other people involved, everybody has to have OBS, everybody has to have the stream key, everybody has to have all that stuff. I was watching videos on that this morning while I was drinking my coffee, and I'm like, you know what? No, I can deal with the duck. The duck's fine. I don't mind the duck, especially when there's other people on screen with you and you're just kind of chit chatting anyway. Now I lost my train of thought because I read the comments. 5 by 4, okay, 8. That's where I was at. It's highlighted. So power is going to be. Let's go 15 to. I want some odd, really odd numbers. So let's go 37. And let's back this one down to 14. Because I want. One thing I've noticed on some of my other test patterns down there is you get powers into like the 19.7. If you change that to 20, it changes the color. I don't understand. So I want some weird numbers. And that's just me doing it. You guys do what you got to do. Q pulse. All right, so we're going to go from 7 to, I think, let's go to 21. We'll get some weird Q pulse. Yeah, that's fine. It is what it is. All right. I'm going to frame that. And I got to move the steel. Okay. All right. That's nothing to it but to do it. Isn't that what they say? Uh-oh. Stop. Edit my material settings. Okay. Start. All right. Sorry, guys. I had to knock that back down to one pass. It dawned on me that it was going to do 3 passes, and I didn't want to do that. Okay. Hey, Sparky. There you go. All right. These are the chunks of cold rolled steel. They are, I think, 2 millimeters. Where's my? There they are. Yeah, 2 millimeter thick. They got they're sheared, so they got like a sharp edge on them. So I'm gonna mute my mic and turn this camera back over here and let you guys watch it go. And if you don't see anything happening, it's because the power is the power and the Q pulse are too low. So once it goes across, it'll start showing up, and that's where we start figuring out where we're going to start the next test at on that power and Q pulse line, and we'll leave everything else the same. There we go. There we go. Third one over, we got something happening. So the first two, what is that? Before I do that, let's go here. Hit the preview button. Power of 14 with a Q pulse of anywhere from 7 to 10 is not showing up on the stainless. So we know that we can start probably from the 14 power at 14 Q pulse and go up from there. We might go down to 12 and see what happens. But anyway, that's what that is. And if I'm doing that wrong and you guys got a better way of figuring how all that works, let me know. But this, for me doing this since 2020 and figuring this all out on my own with no help, that's kind of how I figure out doing it. So let me mute this thing, and I'm gonna go. I got the angle grinder or the bench grinder right behind the camera here, so I'm gonna mute my sound and go deal with these edges and clean these up a little bit. You guys can just watch. I'll come back and check chat here in a second. Okay, that looks like, all right, see you, Bill. See you later. Hi, Kate. That's some good emerald green on those first three, the ones that look like they're colored. I just walked by and kind of peeked at it a minute, and it looks like an emerald green. It looks pretty cool. So I'll show them on the camera here when they're done. I don't have any brake parts cleaner, so I'm just kind of cleaning all this off with some 409, and then I'll use some alcohol underneath it, or on top of that, before I do the clean pass. And this whole entire sheet will have a clean pass done on it. Oh, paper towel. Again, I will be live tonight in the Two Old Guys on the Workbench with Jim and a special guest. And you're not late, Greg. This wasn't even a thing. This was just me goofing around in OBS trying to figure out if I could stream it to YouTube while I was doing color testing, just to hang out and I guess share what I'm doing instead of me just doing it by myself. So, why is YouTube? Can you guys see YouTube chat sitting up here? Let me see. If I move this, can you see me move that? Why is that there? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway. All right. So as you can see by lowering the Q pulse down, the color schemes come out way better. Yeah, this is Jack. It's a test stream just to kind of goof around. And I'm by myself in the shop all day, every day. So I just get to talk to myself all the time, and it's not good. Yeah, so this is so much easier to do it here if I'm by myself, because then hold on, Sparky got lost. Hey, yo, dude, yo, hey, hi, come here, follow me. There you go, dummy. All right, and then stuff like that happens when Sparky gets lost. So then you've got light burn screen, you got the second camera pointing in towards a dark abyss of a room back there, then you got this camera. So, yeah, I'm just goofing around. So I got the steel prepped and cleaned. It's streaky. Like I said, I don't have any brake parts cleaner right now. Normally I'd get the greases and stuff off with brake parts cleaner. But I use 409 and some rubbing alcohol. Isopropyl, whatever that stuff is. And then, yeah, let's go back here. We're about done. We got one more square after that. Nice. I'll pick a color. Actually, I'm going to let you guys put it in the comments when I show this in the main camera, what color you want me to focus around. And then we'll tighten the next group up around that color to see what we can do. If we want to do 2 passes, it'll definitely change the color. But So what I'll do is if I'm looking for a green or a blue or a red, I'll just focus on the closest one to that, fine tune my numbers around that one and see what happens. And I'll have to do it about 4 different times usually because you can only change so many of the parameters in this particular spot right here. Otherwise, you have to go in here and then change the other 3 that you want. So right now I'm at 750, 400, and 0.004. Those are the constants. Those stay put. And then here I got power and Q pulse that I've changed with a 5x5 column at 8 millimeters. So let me get this. Oh, dang. Hey, guys. I'm liking that. There you go. I'm liking that. What color you want me to try to work on? That's cool. You can see back here, I've already tried working on the red on a couple of things, but I don't know if I did that right. Yeah, I'm not sure. But right here, this is what we're working on today. Whoops. I'm gonna let you read that. That's where you can see that on my screen, but that's what it looks like when you're done on your. Hey, why you do that? You know what? Hold on, guys. I'm gonna neuter him. He's no longer allowed to wander around. Okay, he's locked. Okay, I was reading Jack's. He's got a lot of cameras. So what are we looking at? 25 and a half and 10. The blue one? Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So. All right, let me show you that. This is what we're gonna do. So we're gonna. I can't zoom in. I don't. I can't zoom in on this window. It won't let me. So, but right here, let's do. Let's start it at 20 and stay and go to. Let's just go to 35. And then the Q pulse was what? 10 and a half. So let's go from 9 to 14. We'll frame that. I got to skinny one of those up. We're going to lose a whole row off of a side that's not. Hold on. Let me save that as 220 stainless cleaned 1. All right, we're going to save that one. Now I'm going to go back over here. I got to get a box built. I'm going to clean past this one. Okay. That one's already done on the clean pass, so I can frame that one. Hold on. I want to do this twice. Crosshatch. Okay, there we go. Now I can frame it. Oh. All right, I guess we're going this route. So I'll make it bigger. Not that big. Yeah, there we go. Close enough. Hit the old start button. This, Tony, this is what this piece is. This is stainless. Went to the scrapyard and bought a, I don't know, what was it? 15-inch, whatever, how wide that is, by like 41 inches long. I think it was a big sheet for like $9, $8. Came back here, put a metal cutting blade in my skill saw and sliced it, ground it down, sanded it off, used a bunch of Goo Gone to get some of the stuff that was on it off of there. And I just used it for testing to get close. I've got some cold rolled steel behind me that I was just getting ready. And I've also got some round stainless 2-inch ornaments that I was going to work on too. What time is it? 2:11? Yeah, I'm probably only going to be on here actually for another, till about 3 o'clock maybe. We'll see how long this goes. Ah, do you see that? That's perfect right there. You see those striation lines coming across? This was rolled stainless as well. That's amazing. Every once in a while, you get to see what's underneath the finish from the factory into the coat, or in the steel. What's the question mark for, Tony? Did I say striations wrong? Did I not describe those lines in the steel the right way? I don't know. I guess maybe I make up words. I have no idea. Okay. Let's go back here. Let's go to lasers, material test, presets. Right here. That's the one I want to do. 20, 35, 9 to 14. Text settings. We're all good. Preview. A little counterweight on there to hold it steady. I have no idea. All I know is a magnet doesn't stick to it, and the colors from this translate pretty well over to the rest of the stainless stuff that I have in the shop. So if it is 316, it is. I'm not sure. The guy at the scrapyard couldn't tell me because, he just gets it in on a truckload of stuff from a scrapper and puts it in the pile that it goes in. So it's free, not free. It's very cheap, inexpensive ways to do some testing to get your settings close. And then I always take a couple pieces batched pieces, so I get 20 or 25 of those 2-inch. Let me find one here and I'll show you. All right. While that's doing its texting, these are Stay Max from Amazon. They're just 2-inch stainless ornaments, and put the American flag on them, full color. Oh, matter of fact, here's one that I did. I don't know if you'll be able to see the color in it, but that's red. Come on, it's the red and pink whatever for Insight Pregnancy Service place. And this one on this side, I've already used it for paramedic deal testing. You can see the ovals down there that I was trying to get a different color on, but that's the blue that I got on there. So yeah, these I use these one or two out of every batch to get colors on, because these will get rolled, pressed, finished differently, and the color will be a little bit different. There are some colors that translate over the same, but I always figure on a couple of these for a test grid, just so I can get a baseline of colors and go from there. And then when I do a batch of them, I'll just take one package, and that's what I'm going to do. And then if I open up another package, I test it again. I don't know what this says on here, what stainless this is or not. It doesn't. Actually, that's the thing. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do next. I'm gonna put one of these 2-inch round stainless deals on here, and I'm gonna run this same exact setup that I have these numbers to try to get that blue, and I'm gonna run it on this thing, and we'll see what the color translates to on this, and then I'll run a clean pass on the other side and do it again. So I'll have two comparisons of whether I want to do it uncleaned or cleaned, if that makes sense. I generally try not to run these in a clean pass for the colors, because then you're just going to have a really dull look around the color. Now, if I'm going to do a photograph on these, which I do custom, like baby announcements and ornaments and different things like that, and if it's got a photograph on there, obviously I will do a clean pass and then run my photograph. It just helps with the contrast with the black and white and the grays and stuff. Tony, you're gonna have to shop around. They're all different. This is a 60 watt, and right now they're cheaper, way cheaper than what I paid for this one. I think I got about 9,600 wrapped up into this or more, because I got 4 lenses. I got the 800 millimeter tower. It's got the Auto Z on it, which back when I bought it, the Auto Z was not standard issue. So yeah, I'm not sure. You have to go to Noah Laser, go to Hotian. This one's from Lasers Only, which is out of New Jersey. So you can look up Lasers Only and see what their pricing is now. I used to have an affiliate with those guys where if somebody said that they bought one from me, I would get a couple $100. And that worked great for the first year and a half. And then I moved on to the LMR away from another group that I was trying to participate in. And we kind of lost contact. So, but like, I bought this in 2020. It's 2026. I have done nothing to it except clean the dust out of the fans and make sure the lenses are clean. So, and then I just had a video out a month ago, where I pulled the side panel off the tower and cleaned and greased the tower screw. So, because it was starting to make noise. That was the first time I did that in 6 years. Now, I will say, the guy sent me the 800 millimeter tower as part of my affiliate stuff. Also to kind of entice me to pack my 600 millimeter tower or 500 millimeter tower up and ship it to another guy that needed one, because he didn't have one available. So, I mean, I took the opportunity to do that, and then I got a 300 millimeter lens from him. So the 800 millimeter tower, doing. Oh, I wonder if I can pull that. Let me go find that. They have founded it. All right, let me. While that thing's burning, it's gonna show better color when I put it up in front of the other camera. I don't know if anybody remembers or if anybody was hanging around, but this is an ammo can, just an old junk ammo can. And I don't remember if anybody watched one of the first live streams I was on with LMR back 3 years ago. That Patrick and I were doing stuff like this on the live stream, just setting up the 300 millimeter camera. This thing was up on the end, so the 800 millimeter tower helps. But then we just we did that, and we were just messing around with the colors, and that's what I ended up getting. Yeah, purple, gold, blue. It's crazy. Yeah, I was supposed to do the whole can, but I never got around to it, and that's where it's at. Yeah, Jack, I remember you being in the chat on that one. I don't even know if I think that was honestly when I was running EasyCAD. That was back before I had Lightburn. Oh my gosh. I thought when I got a diode laser after having the fiber laser for 2 years that the diode laser was going to be easy peasy, quick and easy, a no-brainer to use. I'm telling you, there's a learning curve no matter what. If you're going from a diode to a fiber, if you're going from those to a CO2, if you're going from a fiber to from a diode to a diode, you got a learning curve. You can't. It's completely off of how you have to deal with settings and stuff. And it took probably 3 or 4 months to get used to running the diode after running this fiber laser for that long. But now, like I said, I haven't done colors in 2 or 3 years. Whenever that video was, I don't. Oh, yes, that was before I was recording before I went live, and I was looking at my YouTube channel, and I scrolled back to find out where my last MOPA color video was, and yeah. What's up, Rich? How you feeling? I hope you're feeling better. Like I said, I'm just goofing around today. I'm not gonna be on here for much longer, but I was playing with stuff and I thought I would try to get OBS to go live because I'm by myself and it's easier to do that than with other people. And I do like the fact that I can just switch cameras back around. Yeah, and we were only trying to go after one. So Crafted wanted to go after that blue color on that small one up in the top there, and then so I tightened everything around it, and this is what you get. Okay, I'm gonna go show this to the camera here in a second. You can see the lines in there from the steel. That's funny. But yeah, there's there you go. We got a few blues, got a few different shades of blue in there. That's kind of cool. Okay. All right, I dropped that little stainless coin on there, that thing. Oh yeah, I am. I'm in OBS right now, just messing around. It, like I said, for me, okay, it took me about 10 minutes to figure out how to hook this all up to YouTube. It was fairly easy once I got into going, but to start figuring out what buttons to start clicking on and what settings to set, I mean, I did the minimal as possible to get this to go into YouTube. So this camera you're looking at is this one. That camera is the one that I had on before this one showed up. That's the Anchor. I don't even know what that's. I don't even know what that's called. It's an Anchor. I like the camera. There are some settings that you can mess with on your laptop or your computer's camera settings. The problem is when you restart your computer, or if you have an update or something, it takes those away. Unless you save it into like a profile or something. I don't know how to do that. So it was just washing me out. In this one, there's an app I've got downloaded. There's what is this thing called? eMeet Link and eMeet Studio. eMeet Studio is the one that I'm running through to get the colors and the saturation and all that stuff, so it's the same. And I actually have a profile saved in that, so that I can just, if it happens to change, I can go back, click on it, and it goes back to what I've got going on. And then I just went into there to turn off the follow, because this thing won't let you show anything without it trying to look for my face somewhere up into outer space. The lens, that is a 220. That's a 220 lens on there. So all right, so I've upped it to 7 and 7. 7 wide, 7 long, or 7 wide, 7 tall for squares. And I'm going to take the Q pulse down from 8 to 15. And I'm going to run the power from 20 to 40. And I'm going to leave everything else where it's at. So if you guys remember, this is what I just changed it to. And I dropped this down to 6 because that's a small, I don't even know if it's going to fit. I might have to adjust that. So what we're running is 750, 400 with a 0.004. And we're running one pass. So that's where we're at on that. Let me frame that. Wrong camera. And we'll go from there. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end up having to drop that down to a 5x5 on that one. I don't really like doing that. This one's different though. This kind of steel is different. To do that. Yeah. All right, even that's too much. I gotta go down to 6 wide, 6 tall. So 6 is 6. Preview that. All right, that's all on there. So I'm just gonna hit go, and we'll see where colors wind up on that one. Okay, hold on. I gotta read some. The software is just for this eMeet camera. So you go on to Google and you just Google eMeet software. Or I think there was actually something in the box that told me where to go. I don't know. So, I just downloaded the little studio app from wherever on the internet for this particular camera. So if you, on your search bar down at the bottom of your taskbar, if you just type in camera, it'll come up to your computer's camera adjustment page, and you can pick your cameras. You can't have anything turned on though. You have to have everything that your camera uses turned off. That way the computer will pick up your camera. Then you can go through there and you can do some adjustments. It's a little complicated to do it in there if you're not used to it, but you can do it. Where did I get the hat? Park Wholesale. Parkwholesale.com. That's where I get all my hats from. Because I don't buy a lot of them, and they're only like anywhere from $4 or $5 up to $10, depending on what brand. And this one is the Yupong Classic. I got a whole bunch of different kinds of this kind of camo, darker, lighter. But yeah, Park Wholesale. Oh, uh, hey guys, guess what? I'm an idiot. Okay, the color's gonna change on the other side. I'm gonna turn this over and run the same exact thing. But when I do that, I'm gonna actually focus the laser up 2 millimeters because I didn't focus it. I just threw that. I don't know how thick this steel that I put down on and then put that on top. I don't know how thick that is from where it was focused on my stainless. But oops. Oh, these super cool t-shirts right here. You like those? You like those? Yeah. Hey, Rich knows a guy that does hats and shirts, and so that's where I got them from. It's Rich's son, and he did a bang up good job. I like it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, Rich, put the name of his company down there so people can go to it. Get a hold of you, get a hold of him, however they got to do it. Tony, I can't understand that. W Mopag / too rich for me right now. Oh, Mopa is too rich for you right now. Okay. I think I understand. Okay. Chicken scratch, just like I write. I had to get my translator button out. Oh, okay. Disregard the statement that I just made. They're cool shirts though. Those are looking more pastel colors, at least on the screen. And I'm wondering if that's because it's out of focus. Your focus needs more focus. I opened the can of worms. Rich has got to close it. Okay, that should be done in a second. Yep. That's a smidge warm. That's the first one of those I picked up that was hot to touch. Okay, that's crazy. Normally I don't have to deal with that. I guess the whole thing was done with the .004, so it was a little warm. Where's my... There we go. Okay. So that was out of focus. And there's a couple little colors there, but I'm gonna put this back down and focus it this time. Honestly, it was only about a millimeter down, so it wasn't horrible. Okay. I don't know if that's gonna do much. Honestly, you know what? I'm gonna run this cold rolled steel because I'm getting ready to get out of here till tonight's live stream. So let me run this real quick for you guys. All right, I'm gonna run that same thing on the steel, but I'm gonna widen it a little bit. But before I do that, I'm gonna run the clean pass across that. All right, you guys don't need to watch that. Rich, I didn't know that. I didn't know if you were doing me a favor. I wouldn't have asked you. But I really appreciate it. Yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm just like I said, just messing around. I appreciate you guys hanging out. It's kind of fun. I didn't think anybody was going to show up. It was a pleasant surprise. All right, so I think I'm gonna material test. Go back up to 7. I don't need to go so big. 10 by 10 is fine. Drop down that one. Yeah. I am changing a few things here. I'm going to do 0.005 on the line space. And I'm going to do a power and a speed as a constant. And I'm going to mess with the frequency and the Q pulse. And we'll see where we are on the last test here. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. Commenting on the video once it's done and posted and rendered too definitely helps. So, oops. Yeah, frequency and Q pulse. So let's go from 8. Oh, let me show you what I'm doing. Let me go from 8 to 21, just because I feel like being a little frisky. And frequency. Boink. Let's see. Let's go from 85 to 150. Now, let's do 100 to 324. Let's give it an odd number. I don't know. I'm throwing stuff at the wall to see if it sticks. Did I break? Is something going on? Can you guys hear me anymore? What's going on? Did he broke it? Okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There we go. That's better. Okay. That's a bigger test pattern. We got it widened out a little bit. We'll see what happens here. Oh, Jack broke it. Okay. Phew! Because we all know that, it don't take much for me to break it. I just got to look at it wrong and I break it. Like I said, Jack, I didn't know I was going to do this. This was more for me only and just to see if it was going to work. So sneaking one in on you, I didn't invite anybody. Y'all showed up on your own. Y'all just showed up. I appreciate it. I might could have had done made this private so nobody saw it, but what's the fun in that? I didn't know how to do that anyway. All right, same thing. We're gonna have a few bars on the bottom left that are not gonna show up because of it's too low. But that's fine. Too low of power or too low of the Q pulse. Anybody got a guess which one's gonna show up first? I say the third one. Third one from the left on the bottom. And I'm looking at the screen and I'm not overlooking at my laser. If I was looking at the laser, I could probably see where it's going right now. Also, I don't mind doing these live streams either because I don't have to edit anything. Y'all just get you just get what you get. You get what I'm doing. I don't have to do it. If I have to pause the mic and go outside or go over here and check on something or run the grinder or whatever, I don't have to edit nothing. It's fun. Makes it easy on me. Whoa, was I wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On the 7th one is when it showed up. Dang. I was thinking it was taking a minute. Yeah, I don't mind doing streams. I do videos when I have to really focus on a particular thing and I want to like drive a point home and get it so somebody can take that and use it without having to sift through what we're on hour and 29 minutes now to try to find what they're looking for. So yeah, I don't know. The streams I just do for hanging out. Like, you know, people want to see me do specific things on my streams and you know, this specific kind of a content. That's not what my streams are for. My streams are to help you guys fix a problem as you're having it. If not, you can message me and I can help you later. My streams are just a chit chat. So raw lasers, lasers in the raw, lasers in the rough. That's a good one. Lasers in the rough. There you go, Jack. Good podcast name. Lasers in the wild. Raw lasers is good too. Yep, it is what it is. Oh, that one looks like it's trying to do something on the second one, on the second line up, the second one in. I saw a flash. I don't know where it's at now. It's probably going to pop in on the fourth one, maybe. Yep, you can see a little bit of a shadow on the fourth one. Wow, this one's going to run for a while. Holy cow. What does the preview say? The preview says 52 minutes. I don't know, guys. I don't know if I'm going to stick around that long. I'm going to let this thing run, but I got other stuff I got to get to before tonight's live stream with Jim and our special guests. So this honestly was in preparation for tonight's stream because this is what I was going to work on tonight. I probably shouldn't have said that, but now it's not going to be a surprise, but oh, there's our first pop of color. Like non-earth tone stuff. I like that. Now, this is cold rolled steel, guys. This is not stainless. This is just a chunk of cold rolled I cleaned off and threw underneath the laser, and I'm using the same settings as I did on stainless. I bet you we're going to get to that dark blue that I like using on the American flag. The problem is with this stuff is you don't get like a red for the flag stripes like you do on stainless or even titanium. Greg, I don't know. We got a guest coming on tonight, so we're gonna chat with him, and I think Jim is gonna be doing business cards on the fiber and his little 20 watt, and I think I'm just gonna set up and do a continuation of the color on steel, and I'm gonna do it on regular steel tonight. That's why I got all these pieces and cleaned them up. I'm gonna do it on this cold rolled so anybody can get into messing with colors for cheap. And he may or may not be in the chat. That's the only hint you're gonna get, Tony. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just do a continuation of the color stuff tonight while Jim's doing his thing and you guys are all asking your questions. So after I get out of here in a few minutes, you guys get some questions, write them down so you don't forget them, and we'll talk about them. What is that? Apparently, so far, with the frequency is at 150, and the Q pulse is at 12.3. So that's when So far, it's starting. I think once we get up a little higher, it's probably gonna be done. I don't know if I'm gonna hang out too much longer. I might do one more row and then call it a day. And then I gotta go get something to eat and get some things moved around in here and get ready for tonight. So I need to get out of the shop and rest my eyeballs. And I think my wife's probably home from her meeting today. Go say hi to her. Yeah, it's honestly, it's been a long time since I've done stuff like this with the fiber laser. Once I got the diode laser a couple 3 years ago, I basically do like dog tags for the martial arts guys and my business cards. And I do my boxes, I do my cardboard boxes and my paper bags with my fiber laser because it's so fast. But that's it. So stuff like this is fun. We got shows coming up this spring, so I need to kick myself in the butt and really get some of this stuff dialed in again and get back into practice with doing this so I can start taking some of this fun stuff to the shows. That is so odd where you got a line of, and I think Geo, when he was doing all this stuff with us, Geo would say that there's a correlation between where your Q pulse shuts off your frequency, or they don't mesh. It hits the limits of the laser, and it doesn't. That's why you're getting all the same color. I think that's where I'm at right here. I think my settings are messed up enough to where I'm only getting a certain color every line, and it's doing the same color. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. I'm gonna put a stop to this real quick, and I'm gonna drop down. On a non-Q switched laser, yeah. Yep. When it's just a standard 200 frequency. Um, Making a couple of adjustments here. All right. I skinnied down my parameters for what I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see if real quick if I can get colors starting from the beginning and then having a wider spectrum of them going across instead of all the same ones. So what I did, I can show you this while it's doing its thing. So what I did was I raised my power up to 35, and I changed my frequency from to 250 to 324. I left that where it was at and just changed from 100 to 250 and left this alone. But I'm down to 6 and 6 instead of 10 and 10. So it's gonna tighten everything up a little bit. We'll see what happens. Well, it's not gonna. Actually, it won't. It'll make it more broad because there's not as many. But I tightened up the frequency, and we'll see. Make it go faster. I don't know. Whatever. I don't use words good. Well, I've only ever had a MOPA laser. I've never had a fiber laser that wasn't a MOPA. This is 60 watts, the only one I've ever had. So I use what I have. I use the tools it gives me. All right, we are getting some differences now. That's better. I like that. Oh, that one almost looks purple. Interesting. Okay, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. If you want to find out what that looks like when it's done, come back tonight at 6, and I'll show you. And yeah, thank you to all the patrons who are have joined my Patreon group over there. Appreciate the support. I just wanted to let y'all know that. I don't know all the names right off the bat. I could probably bring that up and read it. I'll do it tonight at 6. I'll tell you. I'll read it off tonight at 6 and thank you guys personally on there. But yeah, just want to thank you guys for joining that and doing what we're doing. I had fun. I'm just messing around with this again, and I'm gonna get out of here. And we'll see you guys tonight at 6. I gotta go get something to eat. I gotta get out of this shop for a few minutes and just kind of, yeah, get ready for tonight. So, all right, well, guys, we'll see you later, and I'll show you what happened over there.